We tend to think of the ocean as a mysterious world, and its inhabitants as being far removed from the land. While this is partly true, we sometimes forget that the biology of underwater creatures, like our own, is subject to the harsh laws of nature. Diseases are just as real underwater as they are on land, but their nature can sometimes seem inexplicable. Different underwater races have their own unique diseases, which manifest differently and have distinct symptoms and treatments. For example, krakens are not susceptible to many human diseases, such as the common cold or chickenpox. However, they are highly susceptible to anisakidosis, a parasitic disease caused by nematode larvae in food, which can cause symptoms such as abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, and allergic reactions. To combat this disease, mixtures of medicinal seaweed laxatives are used. Another of the most unpleasant and common diseases among krakens is infestation with sea lice, tiny crustaceans that live inside the suction cups on the kraken's tentacles, in their gills, and on the tentacle-like appendages on their heads. Both adults and children can be affected by this disease. The parasites damage the skin by scraping it with their saw-like mandibles, causing small, bleeding sores at the site of their attachment, which can lead to blood poisoning. To combat parasites, krakens carefully take care of their bodies, paying special attention to their suckers. If they detect sea lice, they consult a doctor who disinfects the patient with a special ointment made from medicinal algae. This problem is especially severe for the kraken's warriors at the far outposts, where overcrowding and poor sanitation mean that every second soldier suffers from sea lice, which interferes with their service. For the closest relatives of the krakens, the iku turso, sea lice are not a problem, as these creatures do not live in Arctic waters. A much greater danger to the iku turso is the whale barnacle, a type of barnacle that attaches itself to the body of whales. These creatures are a real scourge to the iku turso, as they often attach themselves to their skin and horns, making them difficult to remove. Mass infestations of whale shellfish can cause mechanical damage to the skin of iku turso, such as blisters, and weaken their immune systems, which is especially dangerous for pregnant females or young whose immune systems are already weakened. In some severe cases, infestations of whale shellfish can also lead to the development of eczema. Therefore, iku turso take great care to prevent these tiny parasites from infesting them by regularly cleaning bodies and horns. Another serious disease of the iku turso is the ice fungus. Due to microcracks in the horns, obtained by breaking the ice, an aggressive fungus penetrates inside, which slowly turns the bone tissue into a fragile structure. To combat it, the iku turso are forced to carry out ritual firing of the horns with hot springs. One of the biggest problems for iku turso is global warming. Due to the melting of glaciers, a huge amount of ancient viruses that have been dormant in the glaciers is being released into the Arctic Ocean. Iku turso scientists have noted that the Arctic region has already been affected by hantavirus hemorrhagic fever, which disrupts blood circulation, kidney function, and lung edema. For Selkie, another inhabitant of the northern waters, the main problem is the flu virus, which they treat by eating seal fat, which helps in the early stages of the disease. Let's return to the southern seas, specifically to the common mermaids, who also have a susceptibility to various diseases, such as vibriosis, an infectious disease caused by bacteria that settle on the surface of the body, forming rounded white cysts, and causing spotty hemorrhages with a grayish coating of mucus. To treat this condition, mermaids use symbiotic medicine. Wealthy mermaids in their cities have private spa aquariums with elite species of cleaning shrimp, while less affluent mermaids are forced to visit public cleaning stations where they are cleaned by wild fish that may accidentally bite their flesh. Another disease that affects mermaids is scaly dullness. Due to stress and constant competition, mermaids' scales lose their shine and begin to peel off. In their society, this is considered a shame and a sign of poverty, so they spend huge amounts of pearls on cosmetics that hide the symptoms instead of seeking real treatment. The mermaids, who were forced to move to land due to the war with the krakens, have faced a new and previously unknown disease, voice fading. These creatures are known to value their beautiful singing voices, and they venture onto the sea cliffs to fully appreciate them. However, recent studies have shown that living on land for more than 3 years can lead to either partial or complete permanent loss of their singing voice. The exact reason for this is unknown, but some theories suggest that the impact of the terrestrial atmosphere on their delicate vocal cords may be a contributing factor. To preserve their singing abilities, mermaids who live on land regularly rinse their mouths with seawater, which has been shown to have positive effects. Umebozu main disease is rickets, a condition that disrupts the process of bone mineralization, causing a lack of calcium and phosphorus in the bones. As a result, the bones become soft, easily deformed, and less able to withstand stress. Umebozu uses healing meditation techniques and a diet rich in fatty seafood to treat this condition. Another umebozu disease is deep-sea decompression sickness, as these giant intelligent amphibians live at great depths and can withstand immense pressure. However, if they ascend too quickly to the surface, they suffer from a similar condition to decompression sickness. But umebozu do not have photophobia, as their eyes are designed in such a way that when exposed to bright light, their eye glands release an enzyme that darkens the image. But deep-sea mermaids do not have this ability, as they live at great depths, and their greatest ailment is photophobia. For them, any bright light causes physical pain. The main disease of the Charybdis is the rotting of the throat. Due to the fact that they eat everything that comes into their mouth, they often swallow things that are not suitable for eating, which can cause damage to their throat. To combat this condition, the Charybdis eat jellyfish, whose venom acts as a healing balm for them. Nowadays, Charybdis suffer not only from bones and rocks, but also from microplastics and metal debris from ships, which only exacerbates their throat disease. The main disease of hydras is cervical calcification. Since hydras live in underwater caves or near underwater volcanoes, where the water is rich in minerals and certain salts, these substances gradually accumulate in their bodies. As a result, the delicate connective tissues at the base of their necks begin to harden and lose their flexibility. This leads to stiffness in their necks, making it difficult for them to quickly move their heads for attack. To treat this condition, hydras engage in hunting electric rays. The electric shocks that pass through the hydra's body cause micro-vibrations that break down the salt deposits in its joints and muscles. The main disease of Capricorns is the chitin fragility of the horns. The horns of Capricorn are not just an ornament, but a tool for self-defense. As they age, nitrogen bubbles accumulate in the porous structure of the horns, making them brittle and prone to cracking even from a slight impact. To treat this condition, Capricorn must take sunbathes on sea cliffs, where the atmospheric pressure helps the gases to slowly and safely escape from the bone structure. The main disease of leviathans is delayed molting. Leviathans constantly grow and shed their skin. When their metabolism is disrupted, the old scales do not shed completely, and they stick to the new scales. The body becomes covered with a layer of dead skin, which tightens the leviathan's body, making it slow and vulnerable to enemies. To treat this, they rub themselves against the seafloor or rough rocks to remove the old layer of skin. A common disease in sea serpents is lateral line erosion. Sea serpents do not have ears, so they rely on their sensory lateral line to sense vibrations in the water to navigate the ocean. The acidity of the ocean or underwater noise from ships can damage these receptors. This can lead to disorientation, causing the serpent to crash into rocks and lose its ability to hunt in the dark. To treat this condition, sea snakes enter a long hibernation in a quiet underwater cave. During this period of rest, which can last up to 3 weeks, their receptors fully recover. Well, this is where our research ends. Of course, we have only touched the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the medical practices of underwater civilizations, and we have not discussed other races or their diseases. However, what we have discussed is enough to understand a simple concept. The underwater inhabitants, whom we often perceive as alien and supernatural, are just as fragile and susceptible to illness as we are. Life follows the same laws everywhere, but intelligent species always find ways to overcome them.